Welcome back. Now we're going to start talking about classes. So the same way functions group together blocks of code that perform operations, classes are also entities that group together statements that perform operations. Now the difference here is that classes are templates that describe behaviors and state that objects will have. So classes are used to create objects, which in Java are simply a representation of a real-world object, say a ball, a car. Now, in the real world, cup has states. So a cup could be blue or white or black. It could have a thickness, how thick the cup is, and capacity, how much can it hold. It also can have behaviors. So a cup could break, can make noises when you... Let's go ahead and see examples of classes and how to construct them and how to create objects. But one thing I would like you to understand is that classes are just like a cookie cutter. A cookie cutter is just a little template that you can use to create different cookies, shapes, right? And so classes you can look at as a cookie cutter. An object, you look at it as the actual cookie that you make once you use the cookie cutter to create all those shapes. Now let's go and see a few examples. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new project. We're gonna name it Java classes, I should say, and then go next. And we're gonna go and our source, new, package, com.java programs.java classes. Let me go finish. And of course, we're going to create our main class here. Make sure you have this main checked. And we're going to call it Java classes. And of course, we get all of these goodies here. Get rid of all of that. Now, to create our own classes, what we're going to do, we're going to go back here to our package, right-click, go to New, create class, and make sure this is not checked because we don't want to create a main method. Every Java program only has to have one main method, so we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to call this class we're going to create called cup, and go finish. There we go, we have a brand new cup class with nothing in it. Now, every class has to have behaviors and states. The first thing we do when we create a new class is we create our states first. And our states in our class are what they are called instance variables or fields. What these are variables in this class that will hold all the states of the object. Meaning that a cup, let's think of a cup in the real world. A cup in the real world has a state. The state could be, they could have a color and a capacity. So we're going to start by saying string color, because this is one state that a cup could have or could be in. And also it has int capacity correctly. A class could be white or blue or gray. And also we could say, well, this cup here holds 25 milliliters or something. So these two here are our instance variables or our states. Now behaviors is what classes, now behaviors in our class are functions. So essentially what operations this class is going to do. Let's just say our class is going to do it's going to shatter because it's a cup, right? Cups usually in the real world they can shatter if you throw it on the ground and it just breaks. So let's say public void shatter. So that's a function there. As you can see here, this is a very simple class. It has our instance variables, which are our states, and then our behavior, which we have only one here. In our shatter, let's say we just want to print something out. System.out.println, say shatter. It's a lot of R's, and save. Now let's go back to our Java class here, our main class, our main entry point. Now how do we then create objects off of our classes? Remember that we said classes are just cookie cutters that you use to then create shapes of different cookies. Now the cookie is what we are very interested on, right? Because that's the actual object. In this case, the cup just represents all of the behaviors and states of a cup in a real world. But then we want to be able to create that real world object, in this case cup, so we can use it, so we can set all the behaviors and states. How do we do that? Well, very simple. What we do, we start by saying cup, because that's a type of object we're going to create. Cup, going to call my cup is equal to new. That's very important because we're creating a new object, a new cookie per se, right? It's going to new cup, and make sure you have this parenthesis here after that, because that means you're calling the cup. Okay, so you're creating a new object. So this is my cup here of type cup, which is this class here. So we here have created as an object that we can use. So what we can do now, we can say my cup dot, as you can see now this dot here, whenever you have this object and you want to access, for instance, behaviors or variables, behaviors or states that we have assigned, that's how you do. You take the reference of the cup that you just created, the object, this is the actual object, you say my cup dot, and then it gives you all the states and behaviors for this particular cup here. Okay, so let's say you want to change the color. We're going to set the color to be blue. That's how you do it. If you wanted to show this on the screen, you can say system.out.println, say my cup is, and then say my cup dot color. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to say, well, I know you said that you created a new cup, that's me here, and then you said, okay, I have to be blue, so this is going to say blue. Let's save and run. There we go, my cup is blue. Very nice, very, very nice indeed. Now let's say if you want to also say change another field that we have here, another state, which is in this case capacity. Let's say we wanted to set my cup dot capacity is equal to 34, and we can add here, say, well, we want to also show plus is here, put an empty string and then glue everything together again. Save, run as. There we go, my cup is blue 34. Wonderful. Now if we wanted to say go ahead and show and run this, we want to also say something like that here in class. Again, you know that we have access to all of this class here because we created the object off of this cup class. Okay, so what do? Well, you could go here and say my cup dot shatter and save. Let's run, and we should see all of it. There we go, shatter, shatter, a lot of it there. Okay, so as you can see, this is how you create your own classes and you create objects off of those classes.